acculturation model in second language acquisition or acculturation in second language study. So we have seen that is for many reasons, people from one country visits another country. And when a person leaves his or her country, he will become in contact with the people of other country, not different in language, not different in culture. So that is called cultural coexistence. That means in many multinational countries, USA and in European countries. Okay, so you will see people from tens from many countries. Okay, countries from Asia, countries from Africa, countries from Australia, all people living over there in a country. So there will be a mixture of languages there, and there will be a mixture of cultures. So whether it is beneficial or problematic in case of second language acquisition, that theory was developed by John Schumann. John Schumann. John Schumann is a professor emeritus of applied linguistics and former chair of the Department of Applied Linguistics and TESOL, University of California, Los Angeles. His research includes language acquisition and the neurobiology of language, the neurobiology of learning, and language evolution. So this is John Schumann's idea, and that is John Schumann. So as I have said, that is when a person leaves his or her country, he or she will be coming contact to another country, people of another skin color, people of another language, people of another liking and disliking, and overall people of different culture. The culture, what is the culture? That can be very tough to define culture. So the liking, disliking. So in case of Bangladesh, females and women are not allowed to go out at night. Okay, that is Bangladeshi cultures or Asian culture. But in case of Europe, female or male, they can go outside any time of the day. Okay, so that is their culture. Okay, so when a person leaves his or her own country and will go to another country, he will come in contact with the different people with the different cultures. That is the basis of John Schumann's research on acculturation, especially the second language acquisition. John Schumann's acculturation model states that, so what happens when a person comes in contact with others? John Schumann said that some L2 learners do not progress beyond the early stages of linguistic acquisition with a target language because of social and psychological distance between the speaker's cultures and the target language. As I have said earlier, so in Asian cultures, women are not allowed to go outside their home at night. Okay, but in Asian culture, in European culture, in American culture, in Australian culture, they can go outside. So if anybody doesn't like the European or Asian culture or the target language culture, it will create a difference between L2 learners culture and L2 learners target language culture. So for this difference, it will create a barrier, it will create a gap, that is the social and psychological. So cultural distancing will create psychological and social distance. So if it is so, the second language learning will not be effective according to John Schumann. So that is John Schumann theory of acculturation. Acquisition process of second language learning by members of ethnic minorities that typically include immigrants, migrant workers, or their children of such group that he is working. Schumann's model emphasizes that the relationship between language learner and the target language community, giving us an interesting theory. So observing this coexistence of immigrants and natives, John Schumann proposed that theory. The more a second language learner becomes the part of the target language community, the better they will acquire the target language. Okay. In case of Asian culture, you will see lots of tea stalls here and there. Tea stall. You might remember that once upon a time we would write the paragraph on a tea stall. tea stall নিয়ে আমরা রচনা লিখতাম। তার মানে কি আমাদের টি স্টলে প্রচুর মানুষ, হ্যাঁ, কত পরিমাণে চা বাংলাদেশে একদিনে আমরা কনজিউম করি এটা কোনো পরিসংখ্যান নাই, বাট আপাত দৃষ্টিতে বলতে পারি যে প্রত্যেক মানুষ যারা অফিস গোয়ার্স, যারা অফিসে যায় বাইরে যায়, অন্তত পক্ষে হলে এক কাপ চাও তারা খায়। ঠিক আছে, এটা হলো এশিয়ান কালচার। বাট in case of European culture, in case of American culture, you will not see there the tea stalls. You will see there the bars. So many bars over there, here and there bar. They will go over there and they will be drinking. Actually, the winter-prone country, they will go like that. Okay, this is the part of their culture. They will not take tea. They will drink alcohol. Okay, why? It is necessary that because they want to keep their body warm in such the winter season. Okay, and not only the winter season, all through the season. And this is the part of their culture. So their culture is bar culture, and our culture is tea stall culture. Okay, so if a person from Asia visits Europe or America, and if he or she doesn't like the bar culture, according to John Schumann, his second language acquisition will not be effective, or rather it would be slower. Okay, বলতে যেন যে ভাষা শিখবেই না তা না, অ্যাকালচারেশন মডেল অনুযায়ী তার লেখা ভাষা শেখাটা স্লো হবে। The more a second language learner becomes the part of target language community, so many the learner will be involved in the language community or the other things relating to their cultures, the better they will acquire the target language. The rules, regulations of the remain the same from the times of the Raj. The no locals are permitted in the lounge and the bar and the dining room or the card room. Okay. The only occasion of the Dhaka Club, many of you know the Dhaka Club in Shahabad. There is a 3-star hotel, 3-star hotel. এটার নাম হলো ঢাকা ক্লাব, এবং ঢাকা ক্লাবের এনিবডি কান, যে কেউ এর মেম্বার হতে পারে না। প্রিভিয়াসলি ইট ওয়াজ দ্য অফিসার্স ক্লাব that you see in Bailey Road. That is the officers club. The officers will be remaining. Everybody is not allowed to enter to the officers club. The officers club সাধারণ মানুষ কেউ আপনি যেতে পারবেন, নিচতলা পর্যন্ত যেতে পারবেন, কিন্তু আপনি ওদের ওখানে টেবিল টেনিস খেলতে পারবেন না, তাদের ডাইনিং রুমে যেতে পারবেন না, হ্যাঁ, অন্য কোনো জায়গা। দিস ইজ দ্য রেস্ট্রিকশন। দ্য অফিসার্স ক্লাব, দিস ইজ ফর দ্য অফিসার্স। Dhaka Club, that was the officers club previously, before the independence of Bangladesh. And there, the British officers had enjoyed their time in that Dhaka Club at that time. And what was the role over there? No locals, কোনো সাধারণ মানুষ are permitted in the lounge, যে জায়গায় বসে তারা খাবে সেখানে যেতে পারবে না। The bar, সে বারে যেতে পারবে না। The dining room, খাবার রুমে যেতে পারবে না, and the card room. This is the culture of or the things of the Dhaka Club. So every country will have some rules and regulation based on their cultures. Okay, so this is an example. And also the only occasion that the Dhaka Club has made is to permit the loose kurta inside the premises. তার মানে এখনো আপনি ঢাকা ক্লাবের মধ্যে আপনি লুঙ্গি পরে ভিতরে যেতে পারবেন না। This is their culture. From men, the dress role is colored shirt. মানুষ ওখানে যেতে হলে তার কালার শার্ট পরে যেতে হবে, and covered shoes. Covered shoes মানে কি? Anybody can go over there with sandal. আমরা যেটাকে স্যান্ডেল বলি, সেই স্যান্ডেল পরে, এবং লুজ কুর্তা যেটাকে আমরা বলি লুঙ্গি,
এই লুঙ্গি এবং স্যান্ডেল পরে এই ঢাকা ক্লাবের মধ্যে এখনো আপনি যেতে পারবেন না। দিস ইজ দ্য কালচার অফ দ্য ঢাকা ক্লাব। ওকে, সো দ্যাট ইজ দ্য কালচারাল existence. So there are 4 types and stages of acculturation. When these 2 dimensions are crossed, 4 acculturation strategies are defined. যখন মানুষ এক দেশ থেকে আরেক দেশে যায়, তখন কি ধরনের কালচারাল পরিবেশ তৈরি হয়, সেইগুলোকে জন সুমন 4টা স্টেপস এবং টাইপে ভাগ করেছেন। সেটাকে বলা হচ্ছে অ্যাসিমিলেশন, সেপারেশন, ইন্টিগ্রেশন এন্ড মার্জিনালাইজেশন। Marginalization. Assimilation, when immigrant or ethnic majority groups following a straight line convergence becoming more similar over time in norms, values, behavior, and characteristics, that is called assimilation. If you visit Calcutta, if any person from Bangladesh visits Calcutta, you find more of their cultural norm is quite similar of Bangladesh. TESOL is here, TESOL is there. You can bargain whenever you will purchase a thing. You will go to purchase the thing. Okay, and same thing over here in Bangladesh. You will see street food. You will see street food shop and cloth shop over there. বাংলাদেশে যেমন ফুটপাতে অনেক দোকান থাকে, খাবারের দোকান থেকে শুরু করে সব ধরনের দোকানই ফুটপাতে আছে, কলকাতাও তো পাবেন। ওকে, এই ধরনের যখন কালচারাল, এক ধরনের কালচার মানুষ আরেক ধরনের কালচারে যায়, তখন সেই কালচারের ছোটখাটো গ্যাপ গুলো মিলিয়ে যায়। এটাকে বলা হচ্ছে অ্যাসিমিলেশন। সাদৃশ্য তৈরি হয়। ইয়া, ইউ হ্যাভ লেফট ইউর কান্ট্রি, you have left your culture, but you find yourself in a culture that is quite similar, so it is very easy to accommodate their culture. That is called cultural assimilation in John Schumann's theory. The complete adoption of the ways of the life of a new cultural group, resulting in the assimilation group losing nearly all of its original and native culture. Okay, it not only happen in Bangladesh Asian cultures. Okay, if anybody visits Europe from Asia, and if he or she drops all of his previous culture, Asia থেকে একজন মানুষ তার দেশের সমস্ত কালচারাল এখানে যেটা পারফর্ম করতো সেটা না করে ওখানকার মানুষের যে কালচার, এভরিথিং, ইফ হি অ্যাকসেপ্টস all cultural norms, that is called assimilation. That means the person from Asia and the person from Europe, after sometimes they will be acting and behaving in a similar pattern. That is called cultural assimilations. Okay, and the process through which individual and groups of the differing heritage acquire the basic habits, attitude, the mood of life of an embracing culture. Okay, that is called assimilation. Okay, and okay, this is an example, okay, that we have said, most probably you have. This is called melting pot theory in acculturation. Okay, melting pot theory. Melting pot is a monocultural metaphor of heterogeneous and the different elements melting together. A melting pot occurs when group of people with different cultures melt or come together to create a new and common culture. Okay, you know খিচুড়ি, হ্যাঁ, খিচুড়ি রান্না করার সময় খিচুড়ির মধ্যে কত ইনগ্রেডিয়েন্টস আমরা থাকি দেই, চাউল দেই, ডাউল দেই, এবং তারপরে হচ্ছে কিছু ভেজিটেবলস দেই, ওয়েল থাকে, গার্লিক থাকে, জিঞ্জার থাকে, অনেক কিছু জিনিস থাকে। ওকে, এবং এটা যখন একটা পাত্রে রান্না করা হয়, পাত্রে রান্না করার পরে আমরা একটা নতুন এলিমেন্ট পাই যেটাকে আমরা বলছি খিচুড়ি বা হচপাচ। হ্যাঁ, এই মেল্টিং পট থিওরিটা তো তাই। ইন কেস অফ মেল্টিং পট, when a melting pot occurs when groups of people with different cultures melt, বিভিন্ন দেশের মানুষ এক জায়গায় গিয়ে হচ্ছে সন্নিবেশিত হয়। They will be acting, working, gossiping, eating, sitting, chatting together, and come in contact with a key, create a new and common culture. Okay, in that case, there might have some original European culture, কিন্তু এশিয়া আফ্রিকা থেকে প্রচুর মানুষ ওখানে গিয়ে ইউরোপিয়ানদের সাথে মিশে একটা নতুন যে কালচারাল ফেনোমেনা তৈরি করছে, সেই কালচারাল ফেনোমেনাটাকে বলা হচ্ছে মেল্টিং পট থিওরি ইন অ্যাকালচারেশন মডেল। Opposite of assimilation is separation. Separation is defined as the maintenance of the own cultural identity and showing the little interest building up the positive relations with the other cultural groups and in taking over customs and accepting the host and uh, accepting the host country's policies. If anybody from Asia visits Europe and if he or she maintains his own native culture, okay, একজন মানুষ এশিয়া এবং আফ্রিকা থেকে যদি সে if he visits Europe and if he or she tries to maintain his own native culture in Europe, it will create a separation. It will create a gap between the target language people's behavior and the Asian person's behavior. And it will create a division. And that is called cultural separation. Based on the likings and dislikings of two different individuals for their indigenous culture, it will create a division. That is called cultural separation. Okay. Assimilation occurs when individuals adopt cultural norms of a dominant or host culture over the original culture. Separation occurs when individual rejects the dominant or the host culture in favor of preserving their own culture and origin. That is the difference between separations and assimilation. And there are voluntary separation and involuntary separation. Voluntary separation offers to the separation of the employees on their own request, while involuntary separation means the separation of employees for the organizational reasons which are beyond the control of the employees. Voluntary separation, if a person is very much ready to accept the target language country's culture, so he voluntarily change himself and adopt the culture. That is the an involuntary separation. That means the person have to admit the culture of the organization of the country that is bound for them. Okay, so that is voluntary and involuntary separation. That is the integration pattern, one of the social factors, and that assures integrated connection with the learners and the target language culture in which sufficient contracts are established to acquire second language. Okay, integration, cultural integration, when people from a culture adopt the essence of the another culture while maintaining their own, that is integration. Integrate মানে কি, কোনো কিছু একীভূত করে নেওয়া। সেটা কি, কোনো একটা টার্গেট ল্যাঙ্গুয়েজের কান্ট্রির কিছু কালচার গ্রহণ করা, কিছু কালচার গ্রহণ না করা। That is called integration. Okay, so you like some culture over there in the target language country, so you will adopt that, and you will not accept all the cultural norms of the target language country. If it is the situation, that is called integration. Okay, so that is integration. Okay, about integration. And another thing is that marginalization. Marginalization describes both a process and condition that prevents individual or group from the full participation in the social, economic, and political life. As a condition, it can prevent individuals from actively participating. That is marginalization. The act of treating someone or someone else, they are not important. The marginalization of certain groups within the community may lead to the social unrest. Dissidents are likely to face the marginalization and denying professional opportunities because of the aspects of someone's identity, racism, sexism, ableism, not providing equal access to the resources because of someone's identity, derogatory language, or bullying. So this will create migration. The migration is that is the total separation. Integration half, accepting half, and migration total separation. Okay, so the person will not accept any part of the target language countries' cultures, and for this reason, the person will remain himself aloof in interacting with the target language country's culture. That is called marginalization. These are the 4 stages of assimilation, integration, separation, and marginalization. So assimilation is for total adoption. Separation is a division. Okay, maintaining some cultures are maintained not full. Okay, and integration accept some one and um, do not accept all, that is integration, and marginalization, that is total difference. Okay, the person will be visiting another country and he or she will be maintaining his own native culture totally, will not follow any culture of the target language country. That is called marginalization. So why such kind of cultural stages will occur? Okay, that is the perceived security, yeah? Contacts, ethnic tolerance, okay, multicultural identity, assimilation, integration, self-esteem, life satisfaction, and socio-cultural এসব কারণে perceived security means, okay, once upon a time we would know that Japanese and Chinese, they wouldn't allow the immigration, and even they wouldn't allow person to get the country's citizenship. কেন জাপানিজ এবং চাইনিজরা কেন অন্য দেশকে citizenship? They would thought that yes, if we allow other people have to get the citizenship of our country, once upon a time our cultural or native people's identity will lose. That would be creating a country that is the cross-cultural community will be. So that is for the cause of the perceived security. So the security of the cultural identity might demolished if the people from Asia and the other part comes to Japan and China and get their citizenship. That is for the for the cause of the perceived security. Okay, that is, and multicultural identity. Okay, that is some persons, some country will allow. Okay, and they will allow it for the cause of the multicultural identity. Ethnic tolerance. Every country will not be tolerating the people from others, but many countries will be tolerating the people from other countries. That is called ethnic tolerance. Assimilation and integration will be there. Contacts will be there. Socio-cultural adaptation will be the self-esteem. Why? Okay, self-esteem. That is the another thing. Yeah. Why people will follow his native culture living in Europe and USA? They think that our culture is the best. If an Asia thinks that our country's culture is best, and if and he or she visits Europe or America, he or she will try to maintain his own culture. That is called self-esteem. Self-esteem for his or her own culture and language. For the cause of this self-esteemed position, people maintain that is cultural distance or cultural separation. And also life satisfaction. Life satisfaction, naturally, we call metropolitan city. Metropolitan city, that means cities like Dhaka. In Dhaka, you will find people from 40, 64 districts. In the same way, in many European cities, you will see the many countries, Singapore or Nepal, if we get over there in their airport, you will get on arrival visa. Why? They love to have people from all other countries. Okay, and also it will help their tourism sectors in their country, and they will get foreign currency in that way. Okay, so why Singapore, Nepal, Thailand, most probably, these countries allows on arrival visa? Because they feel satisfied that if many people visit their countries, their country people will be happy contacting with the people of other countries, and simultaneously they will be getting foreign money or foreign currency in their economy. Okay, so for this reason, actually, we see such kind of cultural status, that is assimilation, separation, and integration. Okay, and that is the acculturation model in John Schumann's acculturation model theory. Okay, so that is cultural shock, Cultural shock, the language, the challenges of understanding the communicating in the social language in an unfamiliar environment, that is the cultural shock. হঠাৎ করে কোনো দেশে যদি আপনি যে একটা জিনিস দেখে আশ্চর্য হয়ে যান, হ্যাঁ, okay, that is the cultural shock. That means if you visit European countries, you see many people, they are carrying their dog in their hand, not with the with a rope, and at the same time they are carrying a polythene bag with them. If the dog defecates outside their home, they will put the dogs, কি বলবো, কুকুরের পায়খানাটাকে তার হাতে এক প্রকারের পলিথিন দিয়ে সেই পায়খানাটাকে হাতে নিয়ে সেটা নিয়ে যে ডাস্টবিনে ফেলবে। তো বা এশিয়ান কোনো মানুষ যদি দেখে যে তার পোষা কুকুরের পায়খানা পোষা কুকুরের মালিক দেখে নিজ হাতে এটা তুলে নিয়ে যায় ডাস্টবিনে ফেলছে, ঠিক আছে, এটা বাইরে টাইরে পায়খানা করছে না, এটা এশিয়ান মানুষেরা দেখলে কি হয়ে যায়, আশ্চর্য হয়ে যায়। হ্যাঁ, আবার ইউরোপিয়ানরা যখন বাংলাদেশে এসে দেখে, যদি রমনা পার্কের মধ্যে হাঁটতে যায় দেখবে যে 5-7টা এখানে হচ্ছে কুকুর ঘুরে বেড়াচ্ছে, ওকে, তারা দেখে আশ্চর্য হয়ে যাবে, কিভাবে, এটা কিভাবে সম্ভব যে আমাদের দেশের কুকুরকে আমরা এত ভালোবাসি, এত কিছু করি রাখি, আর সেখানে হচ্ছে, তার মানে ইন এশিয়ান কালচার দেয়ার উইল হ্যাভ মেনি আনঅ্যাটেন্ডেড ডগস, বাট ইন ইউরোপিয়ান কালচার, সো ইউরোপের পিপল বাংলাদেশে এসে এশিয়াতে এসে এরকম আনঅ্যাটেন্ডেড ডগস দেখে যেমন আশ্চর্যজনিত হয়, সেরকম এশিয়ান পিপলরাও আবার ইউরোপে গিয়ে এই ডগ এবং বিড়ালের প্রতি এত ভালোবাসা এবং তাদের রুলস দেখে আশ্চর্য হয়। দ্যাট ইজ কল্ড কালচারাল শক এন্ড অলসো দ্য ল্যাঙ্গুয়েজ শক, ওকে, কালচারাল শক. So this is the process of acculturation theory. That is the why it is important. The acculturation model also suggests that the learner's different psychological levels impact learners' language acquisition. So why acculturation? And also in some have proposed that being surrounded by the L2 cultures gives one a better chance of learning an L2. Okay. So one of my relatives, he said that he went India. He had been living there for 3 months, and after 3 months he has learned Hindi language. Okay, so it is assumed, understanding the cultural, John Schumann's cultural model, a person who is supposed to visit a foreign country, and after sometimes he or she will have the proficiency of using the target language culture, target language. Based on this premise, Schumann in 1978 proposed the acculturation pigeonization model in second language acquisition. Okay, so this is about not only there is a blending of the cultural tradition, there is also the blending of culture. There are some effect of cultural. Okay, so this is the cultural psychology. So we have understood that. Okay, so the acculturation model proposed by John Schumann, and he said that if a person integrates and assimilates target language country's culture, he or she will be interacting with the target language culture's people in many social and cultural norms, and his or her language, second language learning will be effective. There are 4 stages of this cultural acculturation model. That is assimilation, that is the quite total acceptance of the target language country's culture, that is called assimilation. Then separation, total that he will not be accepting the target language culture and will be the separated. Integration, sometimes the people will accept a few and will not accept all, that is called integration. And marginalization. Okay, so that is the total difference of the target language culture maintaining his own native maintaining his own cultures. Okay, so this such kind of cultural coexistence or stages will occur for the cause of perceived security, ethnic tolerance, self-satisfaction. Okay,
and also for the other reasons between two countries. So this is about John Schumann's acculturation model. Okay, rather you will see the summary in this way. Okay, so acculturation is a process that occurs when individuals from one culture come into contact with and adopt another culture. That is called acculturation. In the second language acquisition, the acculturation model suggests that learners' success in acquiring a new language is influenced by their level of acculturation to the target language country's culture. So find some time to read the slides. Okay, so this is about acculturation model in second language acquisition. So if you have any questions, your floor is open. So